Hello, tea family. How's everybody today? I'm hiding behind stuff. Can you tell? I'm hiding. All right. Welcome to everybody. I wanted to start off, and this is what we're going to be doing today. The festive Yuletide temptation. That is what we are going to make. It's not going to look really pretty like that, mostly because we have things that we need to do first. And we all know that I am not typically all that neat and tidy when we go to make mocktails. In fact, my handy dandy assistant who is here will go ahead and grab a hand towel for the mess that I will inevitably make. That would be helpful. And there it is, 6 p.m. You can hear my Christmas Carol clock going off in the background. Got a lot of stuff going on over here. So I wanted to say welcome. I hope everybody's ready. Those that celebrate Christmas, it is only a couple of days away. It's a tea towel. Not very long now, so hopefully you are ready to just enjoy time with family. I believe Hanukkah actually also starts in the same day as Christmas this year. So if you have a question, you want me to slow down or repeat something, or a question that's just related to tea,
Hi, Diane.
Feel free to put it in the comments. Hello, Diane.
Serene Sunrise. She's
She's drinking Serene Sunrise today. We are going to be using Lemon Zinger for this mocktail today. And let's see. I talked about the questions in the comments or the chat, depending on which platform you're watching. And share, like Diane did, what you are drinking today. I have waited. We did test this out. We made a couple of adjustments. And I am ready to have this. Now, since I gave the test batch to my handy dandy assistant,
Yay.
He does not get to steal any today. That's the deal. But he has been fighting some of the local nonsense that's around here. So he's been actually drinking quite a bit of Lemon Zinger lately. Now, a couple things I do want to say is I've crowded everything up. I feel like I'm hiding behind the glassware, but we are definitely going to be making the festive Yuletime temptation today. And I'm trying to give everybody a chance. So last week, we got the question, what can I do with leftover tea? And we wanted to make sure that we had talked about a lot of variety of things. I sent a whole list out to a couple of the people that had requested it. But this is one of the things that I said you could do. You can, let me go back here to the comments, you can definitely make a mocktail. So what we are going to do is I'm going to take my glass. Oh, and then handy dandy assistant, when I get close to the end, I will need our special extra.
Okay.
He knows what I'm talking about. All right, so also if you can pour some Lemon Zinger in a small plate, one of our square plates. I'm leaving this lemon here for a reason, everybody. So I can show everybody what it looks like, but this is Lemon Zinger. You can see that there is a little bit of a picture. And all we did earlier is we went ahead and we brewed a cup of this tea. And then after that, we used half a cup for our test batch, and we're going to use a half a cup tonight. So this is what it is. It is lemon. Zinger is a green tea, lemongrass, lemon zest, and ginger. And so it is wonderful blend. I've actually been drinking it quite a bit lately as well. Not for the same reasons, but just because I've been trying to up my vitamin C. There's a lot of people that have a local crud that's going on. I am really hoping to avoid it, especially this close to the holiday. Also, do you see this? One of the reasons why this lemon is on there's something really special about this lemon. There's something really, really special about this lemon. You want to know what it is?
Yay!
This lemon we grew at our house all by ourselves. And it's kind of funny because I can feel the difference between this and even the organic lemons that we get. There's no wax, there's nothing on it. I can feel all the indentation so much better. But we are actually going to use a lemon that I picked yesterday off of our lemon tree. We are going through and getting ready to take these lemons, and we will zest them, and then we will get ready to freeze dry the lemon zest And then that will be in some of our teas that are coming up. So, all right, we're going to go ahead and get started. Now, obviously, we're going to be mixing some drinks here. So I have my mixer. First ingredient, everybody, is half a cup of Lemon Zinger tea that you have cooled. Now, typically I'll put it in a Pyrex, that way it can stay hot. I brewed it at about 175. You can brew green tea at 175 to 180. I went to 175 today because I knew I was going to want to be able to put it in the fridge right away, and I didn't want as much of a temperature difference. So I went 5 degrees cooler than I normally would, but 175. So a half cup. So Diana has been doing Lemon Zinger with local honey to ward off the crud that's going around here also. Absolutely. That's one of the great things. Ginger is really good. Lemon is good. It gives you extra vitamin C. It is really a great tea. And, you know, I like because it's light. It's not like a heavy, overpowering, super sugary. So it's good. All right. So I have the Lemon Zinger tea. And then what I'm going to do is we are going to put in about 1.5. This one came right off my tree downstairs. Well, it's downstairs now. So during the summer, our lemon tree is outside on our back porch. But during the winter, living in Kansas, it will not do well. So I have about 1.5, maybe 2 tablespoons of lemon juice. Now that is very, very fresh squeezed. If I was going to do something, I might add a little bit more lemon juice.
You just squeeze it.
I did just squeeze it. I'm sure there's more lemon juice in there, but with my hand and without trying to make a mess. Now, the other thing that we want to add, something else that's really, really good for you, is I want to add about 1/2 tablespoon, and if you look, it's not full, but 1/2 tablespoon of pineapple juice. Now, what we decided was last time it was going to use a little bit more pineapple juice, but what we really felt like is it overpowered the flavor of the tea too much. So we are down to just 1 tablespoon of that. Excuse me, 1/2 tablespoon of the pineapple juice. All right, and then that pineapple juice it did come from a can. We do have some fresh pineapple. We had an extra handy dandy helper earlier today, and so he took all of our attention, so we weren't able to squeeze it. But you can adjust how much you like in it depending. Now, the can that I did is 100% pineapple juice. This is what we were going to use. They're both by Dole. I was able to get some organic pineapple juice with no other additives. So only thing in there with the pineapple was the juice, no sugar added. Very, very important to me. All right, now what we're going to put in is about 2 tablespoons of orange juice. Now I like mine a little orange juice heavy as opposed to pineapple heavy because the orange juice doesn't seem as sweet to me as the pineapple juice seems super abundantly sweet to me. Now, here's something that you might not expect in a mocktail, but we want just a couple. I should have grabbed the little sprig maker. We have that little thing that we draw down to get it.
The opposite way.
Yeah. And we're actually using thyme. Now, you don't have to use thyme. You could use rosemary if you like that flavor better. But I wanted something like more herby in here. It's going to go really well with kind of what we're doing. And all I'm doing is you see me pulling it off, and then I'm kind of bruising it up a little bit with my fingers. And that is just going to help us be able to get a little bit more of the oils out, a little more of the flavor out faster for this mocktail. Okay. So 1/2 cup Lemon Zinger tea that's been cooled, about 1.5 tablespoons of lemon juice, 1/2 tablespoon of pineapple juice, about 2 tablespoons of orange juice, 2 sprigs of fresh thyme or rosemary. And now what we're going to do is we're going to add the ingredient. We're going to add a little more of a ginger flavor to it. And this is where we're going to get some sugar as well. Now, that was not very much ginger ale, was it? That's because I don't want too much carbonation before we pour it, because I'm about to shake this up. Now, my handy dandy assistant will grab the loose ice cube as well as the special thing, because we are about to rock that. Both items. So the ice cubes, it always freezes to that super thing. Oh my goodness. All right.
Spoon.
So he'll get the ice cubes out. So we keep our ice cubes downstairs in a chest freezer, and then we bring them up. And even in the time that they're coming up, they start to melt a little bit. So then when we put them in the freezer in our refrigerator, they immediately stick to the dish. Lucky us, lucky us, lucky us. But we're going to put some ice cubes in here. And then while he's doing that, where's the special one? Oh, right there. All right, so we're going to put, remember, I only put about a tablespoon of ginger ale in there so far. Put a little bit of ice. I can't always see where everything is. Now, we'll see how much of a mess I'm making today. We're going to shake it up. Okay, so we're going to let that settle for a second. And I have a nice tall glass. But one of the things that I did do is I made a very special ice cube earlier today. All right. And in it, I put a couple of cranberries. I put a slice of orange. I put one little piece of pineapple, and I froze it. I put it in a glass. We froze it, and then we popped it out. And the reason why I want to do that is it makes a really fun way of keeping your mocktail cold. It looks really cool. And in the and there's some if you can kind of see right where that cranberry is on the top, there's some sprig of thyme in there, and so it's got a lot of the same flavors. The only thing we added was for some color, a couple of cranberries, and it's going to make for a fun drink that's going to add some more flavors from the tea. Now, what I could have done if I had made 2 cups of tea is I could have frozen some tea in it, so as it melted, you would basically just have more tea flavor added in. But I didn't get that far in advance today because we had a couple other stops we needed to make. So now, this is grenadine. And while this one is store-bought, we have been moving more towards homemade grenadine so that we can control all the ingredients. Now, I only put about a tablespoon. Depending on how sweet you want this, you could add up to 2 tablespoons, even 3 if you like it really, really sweet. And now, nope, I still made a mess, but that's why we have a tea towel. All right, now we're going to pour in. And you can see the thyme is starting to come up. There you go, handy dandy assistant.
Thank you. Oh, leftovers.
There is a little bit of leftovers in there for you. And then I'm just going to kind of finish that off with some ginger ale. And I forgot my fancy straw. Silly me. Silly, silly me. I don't know. Can you grab one of my strawberries out of the fridge, please? And I will put a strawberry. Now, you could put a slice of orange up here. You could put a sprig of the herbs that you used. What would look really Christmassy is having rosemary in there if you had done that. Last year, I had got some really cool stirring sticks.
Strawberry.
But in this case, I'm just going to put a strawberry because we all know I'm a sucker for strawberries. So, cheers. That is so good. It's not super sweet, which I don't want it super sweet. I can taste the thyme adding some herbiness to it, but I really can taste the lemon and the ginger. You kind of get that up front, and then you get a little bit of a finish with the pineapple juice. Not too sweet. You could make it sweeter. You could make it more tart. Now, an alternative is if you didn't want to do like grenadine and ginger ale, you could actually go and in the store or online, you can get something they call a red Italian soda. And many of them do come over from Italy. And it's more like a red berry bitter. The berry that they use is a little more bitter, not as sweet. And you could use that instead of the grenadine and ginger ale, and then adjust how much juice you use, because if you use more juice, it's going to make it sweeter. But that is what we have for our festive Yuletime temptation today. It is really good. It's not over the top gingery. It's okay. It's not over the top gingery, and it's not over the top sweet, which I like. And then you could see kind of like what is in my picture. Hang on. Here they did a much better job with the grenadine or the red Italian soda at the bottom and the orange at the top. I kind of had AI help me create what this was going to look like by giving it the list of ingredients. So thank you, AI, for that picture. But I wanted to kind of give you an idea of what it was supposed to look like. As you can see, I'm not always as talented because it's how I pour. I think if you pour at an angle or you pour slower or on the side, or there's some way of doing it so that it gets that different effect where it's more red down here. But you can also see, there, you see my really cool ice cube with the fruit and everything in it. A little bit of the thyme on top. I love the fragrance of the strawberry actually giving it a little bit of sweetness in my nose. But that is just a really fun mocktail that you could enjoy. You could make up. You can always add the ginger ale at the last minute or the Italian soda at the last minute, and you'd be ready to go. Get it all done. Throw it in there. I would go ahead and use the tea when you're making the little fancy ice cubes, because that's going to be great as well. Now, while we're going, does anybody have any questions? Or go ahead and share one of the things you're looking forward to this next week, holiday tradition that you do, etc. I know that we usually try and bribe Santa Claus on Christmas Eve. We either do like a French silk pie or an Italian cream cake, or we've done macaroni and cheese. See, everybody else gives him the cookies. We're giving him macaroni and homemade baked macaroni and cheese a lot of the times. What else have we left for Santa? We always go upscale. We've done a lot of different teas. Mocktails are something we do for Santa, but the French silk pie filling like chocolate mousse, that's one of the best things. Santa really appreciates that, so that's one of those things that we'll typically leave. And we always leave a candle on, a little lantern that Katie, that actually belongs to our daughter Katie, and it's from when she was little, and it has a tea light in there, and we put that on right next to his meal, just right for him, so that he would always know where to find it. Our kids, when they were little, so quite a few years ago, the other thing they would do is we would make reindeer food. And there was always some glitter left on we could tell where the reindeer were by where the glitter was, because the oats and the food for them always seems to disappear. But the glitter was left behind, so we knew the reindeer had come. And so, yes, Diane is absolutely right. Canada Dry has a cranberry ginger ale that would work. Yes, you could absolutely do that as well.
They also have blackberry too.
In fact, the other one you could use with it, so cranberry ginger ale would be really great. It's easy to find anywhere. But if you go to Sam's, you can actually, during the holiday season, before they sell out, they sell ginger ale in cans like this, but they have the regular, they have the cranberry, and they have a blackberry ginger ale. Now that blackberry ginger ale would also work, but yes, you could go with a cranberry, any kind of cranberry ginger ale, and substitute that. You wouldn't need the grenadine. Just kind of figure out how much you want to put in there for your liking.
Hi, Dominique.
All right. So that's what we're having. He hasn't stolen it from me yet because there was a little left over, which is a good thing.
I'm drinking my rosemary tea with local honey.
He's drinking a rosemary tea with local honey right now. He's trying to keep away from the creepy crawlies that these are trying to recover from them. I'm trying to avoid them.
And the cough.
Okay, any other questions or traditions? There's one of ours.
Diane's getting the blackberry tomorrow.
So Diane, what I will tell you is we go in September, the day, literally, whatever day they typically bring the holiday stuff out. In fact, since Sam's is either an hour in one direction or 45 minutes in another direction for us, we'll call them and ask them if it's in stock yet. The minute it's in stock, we go ahead and we buy it, and then we hoard it downstairs so that it lasts all the way until the next year. Now that helps because neither one of us drink a ton of soda, so it's there and it's great. But it is one of the things, that cranberry ginger ale or that blackberry ginger ale, they are amazing. And they're great for making mocktails like that because, you know, blackberries are really hard to freeze dry in a tea and have them come out consistently well. We've tried a couple of times. It hasn't worked. We're going to keep trying because we know some other people have done it. But you could have in the summer a nice, you could do something similar and then use that blackberry tea and have a wonderful mocktail even during the summer. Does not have to be a winter mocktail at all, or only. So any other questions or comments or traditions that you want to share? I know I talked about some of the things that we leave for Santa. But we are always trying to bribe Santa so we get good stuff. We just love Santa and we appreciate him. And so we always wanted to get him a little something more. Sometimes we've left cookies, but then they have been decorated amazingly well. In fact, that's one of the traditions that when our kids are here, even as old as they are, they still love also making cookies. That's a tradition that we do every year. So.
And gift.
A Christmas Eve gift, yes.
The hide it there.
Yeah, I talked about that one before, right. The gift of hiding. My son, we thought, okay, he's older, you know, he was like 23 or 24 at the time. And we're like, okay, so you still want us to do the scavenger hunt on Christmas Eve? And he was like, yes, as if not having that would mean the world was coming to an end. But anyway, any other questions or any other thoughts? I'm going to just remind you, we use Lemon Zinger in this today. So the lemon and the ginger, they're going to be really good for you. This is a lighter drink. This is not going to be a really heavy sugar bomb. We didn't use a lot of the juices. So.
It's also calm the ginger calms your stomach down too.
Yep, the ginger will help calm down stomachs and different things like that. And then the other thing is if you're sipping on this and you, instead of the time you had gone with a rosemary tea with just water and fresh rosemary in is actually what we have used for years for coughs. Unless they go to a point where you have to get a real prescription for them. And even then, sometimes that simple water, heat it up, boil it, put about an inch of fresh rosemary in there.
It's great.
And bruise it up like you saw me do with the thyme. You know, kind of bruise it up. Just a little sprig of that fresh. Put it in there. Pour the hot water over it. Let it sit. If the kids wanted any honey to help, they would just kind of drink that. It's the best cough medicine that we have found. It was shared with us years ago, and it worked. We were surprised, but it worked amazingly. So that's another one. And I know that when he's been ill this week, he's added a little rosemary to Lemon Zinger. We're going to kind of play with that recipe a little bit. Lemon Zinger will stay the same, but we're playing around with a new blend just for our VIPs. And on that note, I also want to say that keep in mind that some of our holiday blends are going to be ending soon. So if you are wanting some of those, make sure you reach out.
Stephanie's here.
Hello, Stephanie. And then anybody who wants to be in on episode 1 of our Murder Mystery and Tea of the Month VIP Club, where you sign up and you get an ounce of tea every month, and then that tea is somehow in that chapter of the story, while there's a story that will go kind of in serial form all year round until next December. And I'm already have a professional writer working on 2026's story. So, any other questions? Stephanie's like, I can't wait for the first chapter. Well, and that's true. And anybody who did sign up during Black Friday or previously when you went on the website, you haven't been charged for it yet. That will actually, you'll get charged on like the 30th or the 31st of December. So you'll always get charged on kind of like the last day of the month. And then we'll go ahead and ship everything out on like the first of the month. And this year, in the case of this year, it would be the second. But anyway, all right. Well, if anybody needs anything else, hello, Kendra. Welcome. I'm so glad you're here. If anybody would like the recipe for festive Yuletime temptation, which is what we made today and what we will be enjoying, just reach out. I have it. I know I went over it, but I am happy to write it out. But remember, a lot of it is going to be, your taste. I like a little less pineapple juice. You might want a little less orange juice. I have one other thing that I want to talk about is we will be meeting next Sunday. And I am making a Winter's Kiss Sangria. So I will tell you that I am making the sangria. We're going to use our Winter's Kiss, which will be available in January. And so we'll be using our Winter's Kiss tea, and I will be able to do this one with and without citrus. So I know we have some people out there that are allergic to citrus or have citrus sensitivities. This one you'll be able to make with or without the citrus fruit in it, but you should anticipate seeing a lot of fruit on the plate next week. All right, well, I wish you all a Merry Christmas, a Happy Hanukkah, a Happy Holiday. I will see you next Sunday. Oh.
Forest. We have a forest.
Okay, so I was about to go off, but this is the Handy Dandy's assistant forest of apple trees. They are coming in. He's just really excited that they're growing. So
we can use them for
and then
tea.
Eventually we'll be able to use those apples for tea. But all right, meanwhile, happy holidays. I will see you all next week at 6. And I wish you and you all the best. And I pray that nobody else gets sick. And if you have been feeling under the weather, you are back to 100% by the time you wake up tomorrow. All right, well, we will see you all later.
Right.